I've started a winter journal for January. And it's a bit ironic that I'm using this book cover for it because I haven't read it. I got it from, well, secondhand. I didn't even buy it. I just got it from someone who passed away, I think, years ago. Anyway, um, the book, I think, is about the savannah or something, a very hot place, and I'm going to make a winter journal out of it. But it was a good size and it was available, so I'm using it. The cover paper is wrapping paper. I got a few Christmas presents wrapped in this paper, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, winter journal. So that was a half the present, as it so often is when you're a crafter. The cover of, or the wrapping and the things, the greeting card or whatever on the outside is as much a present as the contents of the gift. And I am going to cover the cover with other stuff as well. Um, some kind of wintry picture, cheesecloth or something, lace, trims. I don't know yet. But the this paper with its, is I it really has this icy blue shade that really screams winter at me. So it was inspiring to start with. And I'm really doing a quick and dirty journal here. Sometimes I want my journals to be really neat, and sometimes I don't really care. And this was one of those times when I want to finish it. That's more important than making it perfect. Um, and it's far from perfect. So, um, yeah, I mean, I, I guess I could glue better, you know, at least now I'm putting on a glove to spread the glue a little bit, hoping that that will make it stick better. And you know, I want to avoid bubbles and stuff, but I'm a bit lazy, a bit impatient, a bit impulsive, and sometimes I pay the price. But it's fine, because I'm going to cover it up with other things, and I enjoy the process. I enjoy being spontaneous, following my intuition. I don't like to plan ahead. And sometimes I watch crafters who really plan ahead, and I'm so um, awestruck. It's the wrong word. I'm impressed. Awestruck is a bit much, perhaps. But I am impressed when people plan ahead and really measure everything. That kills my creativity. I can't do it. But I do pay the price, and my things that I make are sometimes a bit wonky. But then that's their charm as well. I mean, you have to look at it that way. For example, here I'm folding the edges, the corners, when I perhaps should have cut them before gluing down um, the parts of them that the parts of the paper that I've already glued down. But I follow my whims, and this is where I end up. The paper is so thin that it doesn't really matter. Um, it's fine um, to fold it so it's sort of double. And in a little bit, I will be gluing a piece of paper on the inside cover that is quite thick. It's design paper, so it doesn't really matter that that it's a bit bulky underneath. It doesn't really show. So I often get lucky that way, even though I don't plan ahead and I don't think things through before I do them. And the paper pack I'm going to use is from Stamperia. It's called Winter Tales, and I've seen several YouTubers that have used this paper pack. I didn't know that when I bought it. I mean, it seems popular. I bought it several months ago mainly because I liked the patterns on the backs. Like this pattern, which I'm now covering up. I'm gluing that side. But that's just because one of my absolute favorite things about winter is snow on trees, Christmas trees. What are they called? Fir trees. Woods that are covered in light, fluffy snow. They become so silent, and in twilight, they become blue, and like in this picture. And it's just this had to go on the inside cover because it's just my favorite look. And I'm really looking forward to us getting more snow so that I can see this in real life and listen to it, because it really is special, because snow isolates. It When it snows, it doesn't feel as cold, so it isolates against the cold somehow, and it isolates from sound. What do you call it? It muffles sound, and it's just such a special feeling to walk in a winter woods when there is this much snow, and there are no birds, no sounds, nothing, no wind. You just hear your own breathing and your footsteps in the snow. It's really, really special. And now it's time for the signatures. And these two photographs are from a calendar. So they represent January and February in that calendar. It's just been lying around in a drawer for like 10 years or something. And I thought, I'm going to use that for something one day. And now's the time. This one too, I think that was December, perhaps. There's that blue snow I was talking about. I'm trying to find a good place for it. And trying to decide which papers should stay. That one I tossed out because it was too turquoise, too warm. Because I want this journal to be cold and glittery and silvery, really like frost. And you can see some pages have text on them, and they're from a children's book about fairies. And one of the stories in that book was set in winter, so there were a few really lovely images with fairies in the snow. And funnily enough, one of those pictures really resembled this one from the paper pack. I think you'll see it in a minute. There it is. I'm slowing it down so you can see it. There's a drift of snow, some holly, a few trees. They just resemble each other. It looks like they're from the same thing, but they're not. Absolutely not. One is from a book of fairy tales, and one is from a paperback So anyway, now I'm trying to find out where I put all of the calendar pages. I want, to distribute them evenly throughout the journal, so I'm putting one in each signature. Yeah. So these are my signatures. I don't know what to say about that. I am going to cover up the girls. I don't really. I'm not inspired by them. They're pretty and all, but it feels like they're too in your face. I don't want people in my book. And it feels too much like someone else's art. I mean, of course, it's someone else's art, but if it's full of people, it feels like I should have drawn them myself. I don't know if that makes sense, but the landscapes and the patterns and birds and stuff, that's okay, but the girls are just too like what I would draw myself. So I'm going to cover them up with something else and keep the borders and whatever wintry stuff is in the background. I'm now sewing the signatures. Really roughly, as I said, quick and dirty. And I'm using a really bad thread, so I'm putting some glue on it because it's for embroidery, so it's really silky and it tends to slip. So the signatures aren't secure. So this time I put a little blob of glue on the knot because I like the look of it. I like the silkiness and the shine that it has. And I know nothing about sewing or thread, so when I bought this embroidery thread, I was like, this is perfect. Well, not really. But, when you encounter a problem, you can be creative, so it's all fine. And here in the middle of this signature is a page from a book about fashion. So old dresses from the 19th century, perhaps? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's kind of bluish and I don't know, it just fit. It fit in with the color scheme. Final signature. To the right you can see the deer. Is it supposed to be a reindeer? I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe. Reindeer don't really look like that. But it's so pretty, but when you fold that page, the reindeer is sort of cut in half. So I couldn't use it as a page, folded. I couldn't use it in a signature. So I'm not sure how to use it. At first I thought maybe the cover. But I don't know. But it's really, really pretty, and I love that it's got sort of pearls or something, and it's like it's decorated with pearls or something similar, and it's just so frivolous and lovely. And that's it. I have my cover, I have my signatures, and now I have to sleep on it.